So I've been seeing this conversation a lot lately. That anime today is all about animation. And when I look at something like Jujutsu Kaisen, I kind of get why people feel that way. But I don't think that's the full story. Because for me, it's not that anime got worse in general. It just doesn't feel the same anymore. And I've been thinking about why that is. Because when I really sit with it, I didn't used to watch anime the way I do now. I wasn't over analyzing anything. I wasn't trying to predict the plot twist. I wasn't trying to be right about what was gonna happen next. And I certainly did not care about the animation. At least not with the emphasis it has now. I was just there, watching it and also feeling it. I wasn't trying to understand everything. I was just feeling it. And because of that, everything hit for me. The highs felt high. The sad moments, they stayed with you. Not because they were complicated, but because you were present for them. I will say though, for shonen, it's definitely harder to carry it without animation. But I think part of that is because of the era. Anime in the 2000s felt different. And it wasn't just the animation. It was the pacing, and things moved slower. Moments had space to breathe. Emotional scenes didn't rush past you. They sat there, and they lingered. They also made you sit in it. Moments were allowed to sit, to hurt, and to actually mean something. And not everything had to be clipped, posted, or turned into a moment online. It just existed. But now, anime feels like it has to keep moving. Like it can't slow down too long. Everything has to hit faster, look better, be more engaging immediately. And that makes sense, right? Anime is global now. The audience is bigger, the expectations are higher. The production quality is insane. But with that, the structure changed, the pacing changed, and the experience changed. I got a comment on one of my previous videos that mentioned even the way that the mangaka themselves had a little bit more freedom and expression in their story back then. And so when I look at something like Jujutsu Kaisen, it kind of represents that shift. And this is not to hate at all, because Jujutsu Kaisen is incredible. And the animation is amazing. It's definitely top tier. And the fights, they're definitely insane. And they definitely have a lot of hype moments. They land it every time. But it's not that it's bad. It's just built a little bit different. A whole lot different. It moves fast. It prioritizes momentum. It keeps you engaged constantly. And for a lot of people, that's perfect. But that's when it kind of clicked for me. It's not just that anime changed. It's how it's made and how we experience it now. I don't think anime overall got worse. I think the way it's made and the way we watch it changed. I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel the way that I do, but I will say part of that shift was me. At one point, I started watching anime the way everyone else did. And I think that's kind of why I started hitting the same. I started watching reactions, listening to opinions minimally, but trying to catch things and analyze everything. And without realizing, I stopped just experiencing anime. And once I stepped back from that, that feeling started to come back. And I want to be clear about something. This isn't me saying newer anime are bad, because they're not. They're just different. And if you didn't grow up in that earlier era where the big three were prominent, it's hard to explain why it felt the way it did. Not because one era was better than the other, but because they're built on different experiences. So yeah, there's a lot more focus on animation, and I think it's also about what this era of anime focuses on and the kind of experience it creates. And with that, you get a different kind of audience, different expectations, different things people pay attention to. Things that didn't really matter to me before, or even back then, are the same things people focus on now. And the comparisons, especially to the big three, they're interesting. They are definitely coming from a completely different place. So when I look at something like Jujutsu Kaisen, I won't say I see it as better or worse. I just see it as a reflection of what anime is right now. And for me, that's the real difference. Yeah, anime is different these days. But until next time, sail safe and stay spirited.